Today in this video, I'm gonna be going over the number one trick I figured out that helped me completely take control of any situation where I'm feeling anxious or stressed in any way and gain a lot of confidence. And that is through breathing. Yeah, it seems pretty simple and it kind of is, but basically, ever since I learned that controlling your breath has an amazing effect over your mind, I've been using it ever since. Breathwork has become the new fad when it comes to health habits that you should do. Before it was meditation, then it was fasting, and then whatever, diets, all that kind of stuff. But breathwork, I think, is a really powerful tool. And it all comes down to what is called kinesiology. I'm not sure if I said that right. It's the study of how your body and its actions affect your mind and how your mind affects your body's actions. And by simply understanding and controlling your breath, you're gonna be able to gain a lot more control over yourself. And whenever you get anxious or stressed, you could actually reduce those sensations by controlling how you breathe. The reason for this is whenever you get stressed, your brain sends a signal to your body that we're stressed, so we need to up our heartbeat, maybe get clammy hands or everything else that comes with being stressed. And one really common response for your body to take when you're under high stress is to breathe shallower. And this is because your brain's sending a signal to your body that we're in a stressful situation. We need to get air in quickly because we're freaking out. But when you do this, your brain starts to get more hectic. And because of that, you start to breathe shallower. And as you breathe shallower, your brain gets another signal that we're under further stress. And this is just a continuous cycle where you're breathing shallower because you're stressed, and the shallow breathing continues to make you feel stressed. And one way to handle this is to identify when you're starting to breathe shallow and under stress, and take a minute and regroup and try to get control over your breath again. Start breathing in through your nose and breathe out, and do it as slowly as possible. It might be difficult at first because you are under stress and your body's like, we need air. But as you start to gain control of this and identify it, it's going to become easier to take control of your breath. And by doing that, you're going to send a signal to your mind that you're calm, even when you're in a stressful situation. And you might think that maybe this is counterintuitive. Why would I want to be calm in a stressful situation? And this is because when you're under stress and your brain is going crazy, you're not thinking as clearly. For instance, if you've ever done jujitsu, you know that sometimes someone's going to be on top of you and it's going to get hard to breathe. And when that happens, you start freaking out, you start stressing, and you'll immediately give up and tap to get out of there because you're freaking out and you can't breathe that much. But if you realize that you're under the stressful situation, realize that it's just limiting your breath a little bit. Try to find an area where you can breathe, gain control, regroup in your mind. You're going to be able to calm yourself down and think clearly, and you're going to more likely get out of that situation. And this all has to do with just how you're breathing. So if you're able to gain control of your breath and slow it down, it's going to slow your heartbeat down, which is going to further reduce your stress and send a signal to your brain that we're not as stressed as we just were. And some things to consider to get the most out of breathing and how to properly breathe is, one, first, try to breathe as slowly as possible. Breathe through your nose. Take as much time to breathe that air in, and then at the same time, maybe hold it in for a little bit and then let it all out. And then do that slowly. By doing this, you're gonna slow your mind down and you're not gonna freak out as much. Now, if you're really stressed out, maybe take a deep breath through your nose and out through your mouth. But normally, just try to breathe through your nose as slowly as possible. Another thing to consider is when you're breathing, try to breathe into your stomach instead of your chest. When you're breathing your chest, you're breathing very shallow. You want to make sure your lungs are expanding downwards as opposed to just upwards and filling the top area. And a good way to practice this is literally picture the air when you breathe it in going to your stomach and letting your stomach expand. And sometimes this is restricted because maybe we're being self-conscious about our gut and we're trying to suck in a little bit. By doing this, you're literally restricting the amount of air you get, which is going to further send a signal to your brain that we're not getting enough oxygen. So we need to breathe faster, which is going to make us breathe shallower, and we're going to get stressed out from that. So don't worry about how your gut's looking. If you really care about that, start eating healthier, start going to the gym more, and lose that weight. Don't try to suck it in and hide it. That's only going to make you more stressed and cause further problems. Some other common causes of restricted airflow is by having tight clothes on or having a belt that's too tight. If you have something that's literally restricting the amount of air your lungs can take in, you're just going to cause your brain to think that you're breathing shallower, and you're going to get stressed out from that. This has been so helpful for me. And at first, it was difficult to develop this habit of taking control over my breath. But over time, I have become to identify more often when I'm breathing shallower, and I've been able to develop this muscle in my brain and my body to realize when it's a stressful situation and take control of my breath. I really think breath work is going to be the next pillar of health alongside diet, exercise, sleep, and I guess meditation's in there too. And it's so powerful because it affects the most common thing you need for your body. More than food, more than water, it's air. You need to make sure you're breathing. And breathing controls your entire body. It controls how your heart rate beats, and therefore it controls how your brain thinks. If you can take control of your breath, you're gonna get much better control over how you think. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. I'll catch you in the next video.